Let's see. 1994. 1994, Ryan was 7 years old, about to turn eight. He had been eight in September. And I had mentioned that he had hearing problems because of the ear infections that he had, so many of them. One of the other problems that the infections caused, according to the dentist, when he lost his two front teeth, his upper front teeth, at the age of 4, they had fallen out. The dentist said that through the x-rays, there were no teeth buds there. I wasn't aware of this, but supposedly that as a child is losing their teeth buds for their adult teeth that will come in, and he had none. They were destroyed from all of the antibiotics that he had been taking for the ear infections. And so he prepared us, and he said by the time he gets age 8, he'll have to be fitted with a partial for his two front teeth, his upper front teeth. And so, okay, we understood that. So that was at age 4. At just before his 8th birthday, that early September, I remember this. I'm jumping ahead. It was the end of August. It was a Sunday night. I was a youth pastor in Winchester, Virginia. And Ryan says to his mother, I want Brother Waller to pray for me, and so that God will give me 2 new teeth. That summer, we had Ryan playing ball, and there was, you don't know how in the world they could be like this, but there was a parent that was being a heckler and was making fun of our son and calling him toothless. Um, why do you do that to a kid and an adult? Grow up. But so Ryan, he knew what was going on, and we had prepared him for this. And he said, I want Brother Waller, Pastor Waller, to pray for me, and not Dad. I was a youth pastor. He wanted the pastor to pray for him, that God would give him 2 front teeth, his front teeth. So Brother Waller prayed for him. And then I can remember that evening we got home, and we got everybody ready for bed. And Ryan comes up to me and says, Dad, feel. And he says, I want you to feel because I got 2 teeth coming in. I said, okay, son. So I reached up there, and all I felt was gum. I said, good, son. I'm glad. We're going to pray that we're going to believe that God's going to give you 2 front teeth. So we had set up the appointment to the doctor in September, just before his 8th birthday, and took him into the doctor, the dentist. And of course, the dentist that had saw him before, I was a youth pastor in Westminster, Maryland. So now we're in Winchester, probably about an hour and a half difference in distance. And so it was a different dentist. And the dentist didn't have the history or anything, and he took x-rays of his mouth. And he came back and he said, well, the first one will be in before Christmas, and the second one should be in just after Christmas. I said, excuse me? What excuse me? I said, yeah. To him, it was normal. It's no big deal. He's just a late bloomer. He should have got them a little earlier, but they'll be in one before Christmas and one after Christmas. God healed him. Now, pause. I want to jump way ahead to 2000, and I think it was like 2006, 2008. I don't remember the exact time, right around that time. So Ryan is a young adult, and he's probably 18, 19 years old, and he decides that he wants to go to Romania for a year to study. He goes, first of all, with 2 other boys from our church on a business trip for about, I think it was a month, if I remember correctly. And Roy Olson, the missionary that was there that they stayed with, would take him to churches, and Ryan would tell his testimony of how God had given him 2 new teeth. And people enjoyed hearing about that miracle. He come home, and he was home for about 2 months working at a auto repair shop called Allen Tire, just down the road, and he would ride his bike to save money. And so he bought him a cheap 10-speed bicycle, and he'd ride back and forth. It's about 2 miles away. And one day, Ryan come home a little late, blood all over him. What happened, son? He said, I was on my way home, and I hit a hole, and the fork of the bike broke off, and he face planted to the ground and knocked out those 2 teeth that God had given him. Think about that. He had just that summer been telling and praising God, telling about the miracle that God had given. And so he put him, I want to say that he put him in a glass of milk, but we contacted the dentist, and they brought him in. We took him in right away, and they slid him in, and they prepared him, and they said, now they're probably going to die. And so, but Ryan, he says, no, God gave those to me. They're going to be okay. Jump ahead. Today is 2026, January the 6th. And Ryan has no problems with his teeth at all. So, long story, brought into the short, God answered prayer. The devil tried to take it away, and God renewed it again. He's fine.